Happy Onewheel Wednesday, everybody. My name is Scot Mendenhall. Good to be back. It's been a 2-week break because of the holidays. We hope you had a great Christmas. Maybe you celebrated Hanukkah. Kicked off right then, too. And then we had Happy New Year's to all of you. I hope you're doing wonderful, fabulous, and got to ride your one wheel. Full disclosure, I rode my one wheel for 366 days in a row, consecutively without taking a break. Didn't miss one day ever. And I haven't rode it since. That's just the way you go. So what are we in? Are we the 8th, 9th, 10th day in? All right, I am joined by a great cast of characters here. I have Lily to my left.
Hello.
How we
Happy New
doing,
Year,
Lil?
everyone? Doing great.
Great. Hopefully we have good sound today. I did not check to see if we're plugged in on the left there, Legend, or right-hand side. If you could check, that'd be great. Also joined by my bride of 23 years. Now it's 2025. We're going to be 24 years. Holly, how you do?
I'm doing fantastic.
Fantastic.
It's so good to be back.
So good to be back.
It seems like forever ago. Good to have everyone.
Good to have
Good
everyone.
for you to see me.
Good to be seen. Good to be seen. For all of those that won in our giveaways a couple weeks ago, they hit the mail yesterday. Lily got them delivered, so thank you, Lily, for dropping those off.
I was thinking about where you all live.
All over the place. They're everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Thanks for joining.
Today we got a special guest on here. He's special to all of us because we are raving fans of the legend, the myth, Nick. We're going to get him here in a second. But before we do that, we got a thing we got to talk about. It's an app. It's probably not a new app, but I bumped into it the other day, and I'm just blown away with it. I think my world changed. Your world's about to change as well. I'm going to show you what we did with this app. The app is called what, Lily? It's Vivira. Vivira. I don't know if it's on. It's got to be on all devices. Reviva. We were way off. Okay, check out this. This can be fun, but so dangerous. Like AI is changing the world. Okay, check this out. This is my son. If we can put up a picture of him, the still first, okay? Okay, we have the still. My daughter is click happy today. Okay, that's a picture. It's just a still picture. Okay, you got to understand this. It's just we snapped it on the lake.
Down on the lake.
And then look, I put it in the app and it made him dance. Now, his face looks a little weird. Turned it into a little bit more of a feminine face. But if you're watch that again because I know you're going, what did I just see? It is an old school picture, people. Then it turns him into dancing. It's making the snow fall, and it wasn't snowing.
Wild.
It was wild. Now, here's the one that's going to blow your mind. I took a picture of my lovely wife of 23 years. Just from the waist up, here's a picture of her, okay? That's just a picture. It was not a picture that had any movement, a live picture. It's just her. Now, here's the picture of me on the other side of the room, okay? Then we put it into this app. And inside this app, this is what it does.
This is weird, guys.
Now, obviously, you study it. Okay, let's hit it again because no one wants to just... We're not trying to show PDA here. We're just saying this is fake. Really not real. It generates...
I don't like it one bit.
Wait, you don't like it? That what? What is that to not like?
I think that's
cringe.
scary that they can, like... One, it's cringy. It's like...
What, cringy that
we don't
somebody...
kiss like that. But then, you can take two still pictures of two different people in two different places... And
morph it
that.
together.
Yeah,
and then it makes
crazy.
a background. That obviously,
Crazy.
you study it, it's like, oh, I can catch the flaws. But if you are unaware of that situation, it's going to it could turn your stomach. It's just, wow, we live in a weird world.
And we do not kiss like that.
What? How do you know? Like, that's a question. You keep saying that, but
well, maybe we'll videotape ourselves kissing.
Weird. That could be weird, but I suppose if we... Like, I don't think it's that out of a kiss. It looks like straight from a movie kiss.
Oh,
not really.
Not really?
No,
Hold on. What are your thoughts, everyone in the chat today? I know this is all about one wheels.
That's crazy.
It's wild. Like, that it took a standstill image. I think the crazy bit is, like, we're going to roll the footage one more time of that kiss. It figured out what my hair would look like in the behind, right? Like, it almost nailed how short my hair was or long it is. It's wild. Like, I have to tilt the seat. Anyways, I just thought you needed to see that today because we are blown away with it. I mean, the app, you have other options. Lily,
you can...
You can squash people. You can decapitate people.
We just want you to find the
I feel
things
like decapitating someone is not good.
Not good. And there is a warning on it. Please use the app responsible. Come on.
You can dance, hug, melt, levitate, deflate, explode, decapitate,
the other ones are...
eye-pop, ta-da, dissolve, squish, crumble,
Weird.
cakeify, and crush.
Cakeify?
Yeah, cakeify. It turns you into a cake. They slice you, and you're a cake.
Oh.
It's clever. Those are fun, but when you get into that, it's like, wait a second, you can do a lot of damage. You start having to wonder what's real and not real anymore.
Frame someone.
Yeah. Yeah, you could blow up a lot of things. Okay, we just saw. Sometimes we like to talk about hot topics, and that was one of them. Everyone had a great break as well. It is the new year, new race season, new everything in the one wheel world, and we're here to talk about it. We're here to celebrate all these things. And hot off the press today, a new circuit, a new race idea is forming, and we're going to talk all about it today. The creator, the myth, the legend, the hype is real on this man. He is a good man who has not shaved this beard off his face for 15 plus years, about to get 4 inches of snow. He lives in Texas, but he's a traveler, married to one of the fastest women on a one wheel as well. They are fresh off of a season of injuries. This year promised to be one of their best of the best years ever. Creator, founder, and just all around good guy of Dirt Surfers, Nick Payne, everybody.
What's up?
How we doing, Nick?
How you doing? Good.
Nick,
How y'all doing?
You've got to trim your beard at least, because wouldn't it be like Gandalf long if you haven't?
Oh no, I cut the beard. I trim the beard all the
trim it.
time. Yeah,
Okay, good to
constantly.
know.
Yeah,
Never
it's
shaven
yes.
clean.
I just have not completely shaved it off. I can't even
What?
remember. I threw that number out at Scot 15 years, but I don't even
So
know.
how many
Could have been longer
people-
ago than that.
How many people have to register for all the Dirt Surfers circuit series in
Ooh,
order
to
for
get
you to shave your beard?
Oh, that's so good. Right off.
Oh wow.
That's
Yeah, let's
great.
go.
Man.
Let's hear it. No, we
Let's
need
go.
a
I
number,
don't know.
and then we're going for it. Let's make it. Hashtag
give
Nick
us-
shaves beard.
Give him a little bit
Let's
to
say
think about that.
300
Each.
people.
At
For each race?
Oh no,
total.
just it. Let's just say it. Total. Hopefully, yeah, but no, I want to see 300 in Eureka. We had
300
250 last
Eureka.
year. Let's
We
do
can
300.
do
Yeah.
that. We can
Come
totally
on.
do
So
that.
if we get 300 at the first Dirt Surfers, the godfather of Dirt Surfer races, Eureka Springs, in May, you would shave your beard off?
I would.
Wow.
I'll do it.
Okay. Yo, that's so great. We're going to clip this out. Bro,
Okay, yeah,
people are
that's
going to
great.
do it just to see a man who has not shaved his face in 15 years would do it for 300. Hey, full disclosure on this, Nick. Someone made, in another realm of things I do, I got to speak at a camp, and there was an individual there. It was 10 years hadn't shaved their beard. And by the time I left that week, clean shaven in front of a couple hundred students. And
Yeah.
so
we can make it
we can
happen.
do
we
that.
can make this happen. This
You
is
got
good.
a thing for this, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, this is good. Because, we were talking, my beard is not fashionable. It's functional. As I live in Minnesota, it's to keep my face warm. And so it comes and goes with the weather. You, though, it's just, you've owned it. It's your identity now. This is, okay.
I was going to ask you, what would Rachel say if you came home today clean
Probably
shaven?
should ask her first.
She's
Oh, yeah,
probably
she would freak
smiling.
out.
She
What?
probably
She
is.
loves the beard.
How many more people is that from the max you've ever had? Or like what's been the total?
50.
50
250
more.
last year.
I feel like we
really.
could have shot
Yeah.
higher.
I think we could have shot higher.
Now,
Now,
okay, it's already done. It's
we
already
could
done.
go one step further, and they have to be registered by
Ooh.
April 1st.
Oh,
You know,
Yeah, that
Let's
might be
just go
good.
with the
And then
300. I like the 300.
300.
Yeah, who
I
signed
think
you on?
300 would be amazing.
300 would be awesome. That's
Yeah,
so
that
doable.
300 people racing. I mean,
Yeah.
300 people racing at an event would be
It's so
epic.
doable.
You know where my mind goes?
Let's hear it.
300 people checking in.
Yeah, because
That's where
for all
my
those
mind goes.
watching, Holly and her team helped
where my mind
check
goes.
in. Yeah, that'd be great. It'd be wonderful.
We
Oh
can
man,
do
the
that.
energy. The
It'd be
energy.
awesome. It'd be awesome.
Okay. So, Nick, let's get straight to the announcement really quick, and then we're going to catch up about life and all those things here. For those that are watching at home, you're brand new. You got a one wheel this year at Christmas, and you're stoked on it, and you popped in. There's a podcast that covers this community here. Welcome. So glad you're here. Give a subscribe. Well, Nick is the creator of our opinion here of it is the best race that we've been to. We've not been to them all, but it is awesome. The one in Eureka Springs, phenomenal. It's a pleasure to be at. It's run well. Nick and his team do a phenomenal job of getting people checked in. It's safe. If there's any complications, easy to fix things, just wonderful. So, Nick, what's the announcement off the shoulders of Dirt Surfers and your biggest one last year in Eureka Springs? What's 2025 in store for you, Rachel, in Dirt Surfers?
Well, we're gonna add Tulsa to the Dirt Surfers. Well, we're gonna add Tulsa to the Dirt Surfers stuff, and then we're gonna start the Dirt Surfer Enduro series and include Windman Enduro up in your neighborhood.
Yep.
And so we're gonna have a 3-race series with Eureka and Windman and Tulsa in that
Boom.
order.
Awesome.
Yep. And so Tulsa will be the final race of the series. There'll be a point system similar to what the ORL has right now, where each race you accumulate points. But
Yep.
what'll be a little bit different is that this is for everyone. So every class signing up, amateur, um, the expert class, that all the amateur age groups, the expert class, all the pro,
Yeah.
everybody will have keep up with their points. It won't just be the legends, Clydesdales, and pros. So we'll
Yeah.
keep up with all those points as well,
I like
but
that.
we're
I
gonna
like
add. Yep.
that I as an amateur can keep track of my points because previously I just raced for fun, right? I can maybe podium, but that
well,
was
you
it.
might podium for that race,
But
you're
they're
right,
not
it doesn't
connected to
necessarily
anything.
connect over
Whereas
to-
legends and the pros got to follow all of those
Mm-hmm.
things, and you got to see how you stack up against other people racing. So I think this is great. I think we have an image of that where it's all three of the races, so people can see it on a map. As you're saying this, if we can put that full screen so everybody at home can see
Yeah.
it right there. That's great. Look at there. You got
That's sick.
and the date. So May 16th through the 18th is where it kicks off down there in Eureka Springs. Then you travel up in September 19th through the 21st, all the way up in Wisconsin.
Beautiful time of year to be up
Beautiful
north.
neighboring state to us. And then you travel back down only weeks later down to Turkey Mountain in Tulsa, Oklahoma, October 10th through the 12th. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's
That's going to be
Yeah.
your own little circuit that when we're saying the brand of Dirt Surfers is running it, you are spearheading, you are a part of making sure that they are running similar on points and the brackets are going to be the same, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir. That's exactly right. So all
Okay.
the across the board, all the different categories will keep up with all their points. And then at the end of the year, at the
Great.
Tulsa race will be the final race
Hold
and
on, Nick. We're
we'll
not
have a
getting you up on the
champion.
screen there.
Oh,
Legend's
okay.
losing his mind over there. There we go. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Say
Well,
again, Nick, so people can see you.
I was just going to say at the end of the season, we'll combine all those races throughout the year and then we'll have that season winner for each category as well. So, and then like you were saying, of the series. So
Okay.
the 3 race
Wow, that's
series will
cool.
have its own little winner. And you know, these races are all very similar, with the trail systems being very similar. Each race has, you know, a dedicated trail system with trail maps and, you know, several miles of trails.
Yeah.
Uh, every one of the races will have the enduro race on Saturday. And so just say, for example, you're an amateur in your age group, you're going to sign up for that same age group. If you go to every race, you're going to sign up to that age group for every race. So what we're going to do on that and how we're going to handle that is by your birth date. So if you know, this is what we're going to do. We're not going to do it by your birth date. Hold on. We're setting a date at the end of the year, 12/31/25 this next year. So what is your birthday on that day or this year? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's
What would be your
25
age?
right now. I'm sorry. Next year on 12/31/25. What is your age on that? What will you be that
Right.
day? So whatever you are that day, if your birthday, it doesn't matter when your birthday is, if you're, whatever your birthday is that day, whatever age you are that day, that's the age you're going to sign up for. I hope I explained that
That
right.
makes sense.
I hope
Yeah.
people understand that.
I'll be 30.
But we're going to have all that in writing. We'll have
Yeah.
all that in writing.
So Nick, if I
So
start, let's say, because you know they're for this circuit of yours, Dirt Servers, in May, I signed up as amateur, and then I realized, man, I've progressed pretty well. Do I now stay where I signed up on race 1 and cannot progress up? Is it kind of that way, or can I
well,
move
yeah,
up?
if you move categories, your points aren't going to move with you.
Yeah,
So
brilliant.
you need to figure out at the beginning of the year, you know, what you
Yeah.
want to race for sure. You know, I mean, and that's the thing too. If you decide, you know, if you're just having fun, then it's not a big deal. If you're not
Right.
chasing points, because we created a point system, but not everybody's going to make it to every race.
Right.
Not everybody's going to get caught up in that point system the same way. And so, if somebody's just having fun and they decide, you know what, they didn't realize, because I've seen that happen before where people show up, they're like, I've never raced at a one wheel race, I've never done this, and then they go out there and they're like phenomenal, and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, are they sandbagging or what? So sometimes people really don't know, how
Right.
good they are compared to other people. So, I mean, I think those kind of people should just make their decision just based on how much fun they want to have, I guess, or how serious they want to take it.
Yeah, and then you progress the following year. I think that's the beauty of understanding a sport in a circuit is like, okay, I'm going to start here this season, then I will progress up instead of
Yeah.
mid-season jumping
Yes.
categories.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
so
It's built to grow year by year for sure.
Yeah.
You use your last year's results and then you decide, do I need to move up? If you got first place in the amateur and you're killing everybody, you should probably move up to expert. We
Right.
have the expert category for that reason. You may not want to race, Luke Austin and those guys, but you know that you're going to kill all the amateurs and you don't want to take away from them, and you also want more competition. So
Yeah.
that's where your expert class comes in. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, and it gives you room to grow. Like I said, you can, and the kids even, we're going to have the beginner and then the Groms.
Yep.
And so the Groms are even going to be able to keep up with their points, and then
That's
they
awesome.
can, as they get older, they'll move up. And then
Yeah.
it's just more of a way to get everybody, all ages, involved in racing and
Yeah.
not only focus on the pros, is kind of the idea.
Yeah, it's like mountain biking or Ironman. Like, yes, you have the pro division, but there are, like, when I go to Ironman, there's thousands of other people that are of the age groupers, they call it, and they are competing as well. I kept track of my points, and inside the Ironman circuit, I understood that I was in the top 10%. Which was like, oh wow, I didn't have any, but it was them keeping track of my points. As that year I raced several events, and it was just cool to see how you stacked up in all these different events. And so it's a fun way to just see your progression, to see how am I doing,
Yeah.
and can I progress to the next level? Because I think, Nick, that's a big question. When's the right time for an amateur to go to expert or an expert to go to pro? Is it just like, oh, I feel pro now, so I'm going to go, or is it, oh wait, I see how I stack up here. I'm not quite getting all the points I thought I would, so I'm going to do another year here, and then I'll go up. I think it's starting to mature the sport with what you're doing, and I love it. I love what you're thinking about doing here. This is going to be great.
Yeah,
And
I
then,
just think that to make this last as a sport, we got to get everybody involved from the bottom to the top. You can't start off with the top and just have the top. I think the people at the bottom need to be able to get more involved and keep up with their points and
yeah,
all that stuff too. So
Well, I
yeah,
was going to say, I think that in and of itself is probably a huge incentive for the average, of people like wanting to kind of get in the race league, but yet not really know what. We met so many new people last year that had never even heard of the
yeah,
One Wheel Racing League, and this. We of
right,
course we're always like, you gotta go to Dirt Surfers. You gotta be there in Eureka Springs. So this is just like even more incentive that has the Dirt Surfer stamp, and it's for everybody to kind of get a new idea of the league, not just a podium at a race,
yeah,
if that makes sense.
and I think to those that are watching at home, and you're like, okay, why do we keep saying Dirt Surfers as like this stamp? And you're looking at Nick there. Nick hand selects the terrain and the trails so that you know that there's a certain standard of trails that we're going to get. It's not a hodgepodge trail system, right, Nick? You've rode all of these trail
yep,
systems. As you put this together, this
hmm,
is beginners are going to have a lot of fun at it, and the pros are going to be challenged.
right,
So
yeah,
will
yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to agree with what you said. Yeah, I spend tons of time on these trails. I have Eureka mapped out in my head. Tulsa, I do
That's
not
awesome.
have mapped out in my head because
Yet.
they are
Yet.
adding trails constantly.
That's a good
Yeah,
thing.
yet I will be going to Tulsa. Tulsa will be where we are traveling up until October. Probably, every time we go somewhere, we're probably going to be
Wow.
going to Tulsa. Tulsa is going to be I will have, 15 or more segments figured out, and then I will whittle that down to whatever I decide needs to be the course, 6 to 7 stages. But I'll have more than that. I create way more stages than I need for, just rain purposes or just logistical, something happens on the trail or whatever. So I try to
Yeah.
always have backup stuff ready.
That's
But yeah,
great.
and then Windman, the guys at Windman have done a great job. And, I don't think you can pick a bad trail at Windman.
No.
There's so many good trails there. So
Yeah.
I just think, you know, just, just just being involved in the race series, you're gonna for sure be exposed to 3 awesome trail systems,
Yep.
and you're gonna get to just ride your board constantly.
Yep.
You're gonna be on your board, and then I think I mentioned earlier, Saturday is gonna be the enduro at each race. In Eureka, we'll stick with the excursion race on Sunday, the long distance race by category. Um, it's about 7 miles long. And
Okay.
then, when we do Windman will have the dual slalom like they did last year. They will
Wonderful.
do their dual slalom. And I think everybody loved that.
Yes.
That will be on Sunday. And, then when we go to Tulsa, Tulsa also has a dual slalom. So we'll get
Oh,
to
nice.
also recreate that fun in Tulsa and have a crowd. It has a good place for people to watch, similar to where Windman did. And I think it'll be really fun because people will have that itch from
Right.
Windman, and then they can come down, and do it again in Tulsa, and people can,
Yeah.
hopefully there'll be some like cool battles happening up there where people want to rebattle it out. I want to make it super fun. So, I'm working on some really cool
That's awesome.
sponsors for Tulsa too. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I also wanted to mention the trophies are going to be super sick, which I always think the trophies are super sick when
They're
Kevin's
tremendous.
involved.
Yes.
Kevin with Chameleon Rails, he's going to do the trophies for all the events. And so there's going to be a cool theme. You're going to want to get one of each of these trophies because it's going to make something really cool. It's going to be neat.
Ooh.
And, I just made a couple of notes here. I just want to make sure
Yeah, as you're looking
I'm
at your
checking them
notes,
all off.
I want to speak to the
But
dual slalom. When we were at Windman this past fall, wow, that was tremendous. The energy, I think the sport changed right there before our eyes. Brooks and teams did such a good job at putting on Windman. It's one of our favorites. It's a mini Eureka Springs. It's so family friendly. But to watch that dual slalom where you're cheering everybody on and you're watching people full send it, the energy was off the chain. And so as you talk about the sport changing and now you have 2 locations almost back to back, let's say the guy that I'm racing with takes me and I know he's going to Tulsa. I'm probably going back down to Tulsa to see if I get him in Tulsa. That dual slalom is head to head, but a safe way to do it, a fun way, and the crowd gets in on it. I love the idea of more dual slaloms. When you speak of the enduros, for those that don't know at home, enduro racing is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, enduro racing, when you say that, is a handful of trails done one at a time in consecutive order for everyone. Every pro, every amateur, beginner, you all do race 1 through, let's say, 6 in a row, one at a time. There's no head-to-head. You're spaced out. Then you do the
right.
mass group ride by age groups on Sunday. Now, are you doing that big race, the 7-mile race you speak of, for the enduro race? Are you doing that, or the excursion race, sorry? Are you doing that at every location, or does the dual slalom take and replace that big race on Sundays?
Yeah, you're on to it. The dual slalom takes the place of the long distance race. So
Okay.
yeah, and people love that long distance race in Eureka. So
Yeah.
it would be cool to have a dual slalom in Eureka maybe someday, but
Yeah.
right now we're going to keep it the way it's been there. Maybe we can change up that course. Last year I thought
Last
about
year was
changing it up,
crazy.
but you guys had to do it all. So
Yeah.
Nico was out there. I think you guys were doing it in the middle of the night. I
Middle
don't
of the night.
remember who was doing it,
It
but
was
yeah,
Nico.
I
We
mean,
got to give shout outs to those guys that did it. It was Dave Stewart. It was Austin Silva, Nico. Those are the three names that I knew I asked to do it because I was like, hey, you guys have all raced this. We're going to set
gotta
it up
make it
just like
happen.
last year. Here's the map. And they did. They went and they made it happen. And again, Nick, that is a different type of race. Typically, and it's happened a couple times, I think, where the winner of age groups wins the age group the next day. But a lot of times, the roll of the dice happens on that excursion race because boards overheat. It's 7 miles. You're not conditioned to do that. And all of a sudden, yesterday's winner of the enduro doesn't finish first in their age group. So it's always a shuffling of the board, which is a lot of fun to watch. And then the stories that come out of there of, oh man, I was just, my legs were tired, so I had to get off the board. I ran out of water, all kinds of stuff. So that long style race is a lot of fun to hear the stories coming back and sharing it. So to get rid of that would be craziness. That is a special event at Eureka Springs that I think that trail system, because it all connects so well, is phenomenal. And again, beginners, you'll love it because it's right at your own speed. That's what everybody needs to understand here. If you're like, oh, I'm not a racer, all of this is right at your own speed.
Unless you're Nico.
No, his speed is
Nico,
all out.
I mean, it was insane. That was right, Nico.
Yeah,
That was crazy.
yeah. Hold on. Let's just show the footage, Nick, of the mass start last year. I believe this is pro. What did you put all the pros together? And Clyde, what was the mass start? Was it Clydesdales and pros all
that
went
was
together?
the pros.
Just
No,
pros.
no, that was just the pros. That was just the pros. Yeah.
Okay, here is the mass start of the pro men in Eureka Springs. Look at this. Let's make that go full screen if we can, Legend. This is the start. Nick's counting it down way back there. You can see him flying. And everybody wants the whole shot, which is the first start. And watch this.
Whoa, Nico!
Goes down. And then, boom, in the orange helmet, Austin Silver shoots out of there. It's wild.
It was
absolute wild. This is the mass start. It is so much fun,
Nico,
too.
I'm so glad you weren't hurt on that.
Yeah, I don't even know how he walked away. Like, seriously, that's the mass start for everybody wondering. Now, that could turn some people off. It doesn't always happen like that. People back there
I was
looking
gonna say, you just got done saying how user friendly it was.
then
That is the Sunday race. And that was the pros. They're going nuts, guys.
Yeah.
They're going
That's
seriously
awesome.
nuts.
It is, but again,
But,
it's right at your own speed, and those guys are pushing the limits. They're pushing.
It is. I try to. That is super important. I'm glad you brought that up because it's your own race.
Yes.
If you want to race at whatever pace you want, that's your prerogative.
Right.
If you know you're going to go super slow, just tell the person at the gate, hey, give me a little extra time because I'm just chilling. I'm just having fun today, because I mean, you can look at this, you can seriously look at this if you want to, like a massive group ride out in the woods.
Yes.
Because people are cutting up, people are having fun. Everybody's on their one wheels, or you can take it super serious, not talk to anybody,
Yeah.
put your blinders on and race your race and go nuts and not and you can do it the way you want to do it. So I think that's what's neat about the enduro is Friday is the planning of the race. So Friday you come out and we have the stages all set up and you get to run the courses, and that's where you figure out, this is where I go fast, this is where I go slow, hold up here, there's a rock there. You try to make mental notes of the course, and I try to memorize it myself for sure. But that's where you plan out where you're going to charge and all that. And so, I think all of that plays into the race, and only getting one shot on Saturday is huge. People want to know why I won't let people run it multiple times, and because other races have done that, and I think it's neat, but at the same time, there's no pressure like a one time. There's 7 stages, and you just get to do them one time. That in itself puts more pressure on you, and if you're the kind of person that can take that pressure and still perform, you're going to be the best, and you're going to be on top. So,
we
there's a
always
lot going into it.
Yeah.
There for sure. We always are encouraging everybody to check out Dirt Surfers in Eureka Springs, and how you said it earlier, it is for everybody. That was my one and only race, was Dirt Surfers Eureka Springs last year. And I did better than I thought I would ever do. I mean, I didn't place. I was in the beginner category, but I didn't think I could make it through those trails, and I made
And
it.
you did-
and
nailed
it was
it.
so fun. It was
You were
so
the
fun.
last person
I
on
was-
the trails.
I was going to say that's my strategy, just to be the last person to go through the gate.
Yeah.
So
You were just making sure there was nobody hurt out
That's
there.
right.
You were,
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
you were
good.
just,
She was
Just-
sleeping them.
Just cruising
Will
along.
Eureka Springs still be a sanctioned race? Or a race within
when
the
she
ORL?
speaks of that,
for the ORL.
So with people at home, Lily's speaking of the big circuit put on by Onewheel, which is Onewheel Racing, the ORL. And so, Nick, she's asking you, do you know yet if these 3 races will slide into like as sanctioned races, premier races, or is that yet to be disclosed?
yeah, I do not know that. I have no info on that, unfortunately. I hope that they could be considered. For sure. It may be too late for this year. Cause it would be kind of hard to, I don't know. It could possibly happen, but I'm not holding my breath. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be something that happened next year. Cause I definitely would like Tulsa to be part of the ORL. I believe it's definitely worthy of being in the ORL. I think it
Yeah.
would be one of the better races, for the ORL. So I'm seriously, I'm pushing for it to be part of it. I mean, I think it should be, just how do we accommodate it? That's the part that I don't know yet. So, and I want to touch on that, just the ORL versus what I'm doing. What I'm doing is not a competition for the ORL. I see these things running together. You can be in the ORL and you can come to the Dirt Surfers series races and accumulate points. If you're on your one wheel product, you would accumulate points for two different series. Basically, you could you could ride your GTS at Dirt Surfers and get points for the ORL, and then you could also ride your GTS at Dirt Surfers and get your points just for Dirt Surfers. So we're going to keep everybody's points across the board, no matter what board you're on. So
Yeah, but when you speak to boards,
yeah, I think it's going to make it.
When you're speaking boards there, because you said GTSs, you're saying you could ride for ORL the GTS and then go to a float wheel or a VESC and then ride in your circuit for points. Or are you saying
No, no. What I'm saying is you come to Dirt Surfers, and if you have a GTS, you could get points for both. You could get points for the ORL, and you could get points for the Dirt Surfer series.
But can I show up at these events
You can
with my float wheel or VESC and compete against these? Right? Are you're allowing all things?
Yes,
hooks,
everybody
all of that.
races together.
Yeah, there you
Yes,
go.
everybody races together. Yes, everybody races together. No board restrictions.
There you
Pros are pros. Pro men, pro women, expert. Yeah, so it's run what you brung. There's just too much going on to try to decide which boards and all of that stuff. So, and now there's, the XRC, there's the GT, there's the GTS, there's so many boards that you could possibly race, so, and we're going to, when you sign up for Dirt Surfers on Bike Reg, I ask, what kind of board you're on. And a lot of that is for research purposes and to figure out, what everybody's riding and to try to, figure out what we need to do to accommodate everybody.
Right. Now that'll make I think last year got a little clustery in what do I have to ride, this, that, and now it's like, no, all things are equal. Like there's not going to be a category for foot hooks and no foot hooks or float wheels, and it's all, hey, just ride. Let's just go. And I think that'll be fun to watch and not have so much in the details, right? It's like, if you got a one wheel,
right,
ride it, race it. Now, obviously, when ORL, this is where it gets a little blurry. Obviously, when it becomes the ORL, that is all different, and we don't yet know any of the information there.
I mean, they would come out with what their stipulations are.
Right. We don't know those yet.
You would make, as the rider, you would make the choice of what you're going to do for each said race that you're going to be in. If you want to be a part of theirs, then you're going to adhere to what they have put into place.
I wish ORL would take, because you have these 3, right? And the dates kind of are your last two are later in the seasons. I wish those 2 dates would become the first 2 races of the next season. That would be awesome. That you're already starting this fall
I,
banking points.
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. That's exactly what I've been thinking. I mean, that's kind of what I've thought, but if
Yeah.
that can't happen, I understand, because
Right.
there's a lot that goes on. And I'm just one guy. So there's a whole
Yeah.
group of people and one will makes the final decisions on
Yep.
what happens with the ORL ultimately. So we're kind of waiting to see what they want to do.
Yeah. No, I think what you're doing, Nick, this is going to be
That's awesome.
foundational to this racing culture we're trying to create inside a sport to make it go. I'm excited to see what takes place to this. We will be at all 3. It'll be fun to see them help out at all 3. Thanks for figuring out how to do this, Nick. And again, knowing that you know trail systems so well, knowing that you're hand-picking these, great job. I know Brooks and team for Windman they've run a great race up there. And I'm grateful that I don't know what happens behind closed doors, but that they're saying, yeah, let's be a part of this circuit. So that's exciting to know. Windman and what Brooks and teams made there is saying, let's jump into this and make it a circuit. That's awesome. This is going to be so cool to watch because it allows you to root for another thing. Like, pay attention. Who's winning the Dirt Surfers League? I think that's great.
Right. Yeah.
It's another way to follow. So,
Yes, sir.
thank you for doing that. And man, it does feel like it's pretty far off, but May's coming right in the corner. I think the very first race of the season's a month and a half away or something in March. Let It Ride out in the desert of Nevada, right? That's right out.
That's in March?
Yeah, right. I think so. No, I know so. So the racing season is about to kick off, so it'll be really exciting to see. We've had a break, and a lot of new one wheels have hit the ground, and a lot new tires and foot hooks and all these. It's gonna be fun to see this season. I think it's gonna be great. Now let's check in with
every year. I love that part about Dirt Surfers because that's where I get to always see something maybe that's not even out yet.
Yeah.
Or something that just came out, and I love that part about it too. The innovation seems like it's happening yearly, so that is so fun to watch it grow.
Yeah, there's always a lull around this time of year, it seems like. The holidays hit, it's an off season, but people are working on stuff. And it isn't until race season do you start seeing the leaks out of it. I mean, we still yet to know what Austin Silva was actually riding at that mass start race. We know it had the makings of the one wheel, but what was the software running in there? So it was, that stuff's always fun to see. And then make your own speculations of, what was that? And so I like race season just to see how the boards progress and what each company or brand brings to the table of the race season. So you are creating your own brand of dirt surfers, and that's what's really cool. So let's check in with you. Everybody, if you didn't know, Nick at Eureka Springs, he wrecked while
he was scouring the trails.
Yeah, getting ready to start
race.
the race. He came back, and I thought he was messing with me. He's like, Scott, I fell off my one wheel, and I was like, all right.
He was like, I'm hurt.
I'm hurt. I was like,
I remember that.
Yeah, I can picture it. It's like burned in my brain. You coming up at me, and he's like, you're like, I'm hurt. I'm like, and then he's like, no, I really am. And then I pulled you behind the trailer because I was like, well, let's not make a scene then. And we pull you behind the trailer, and you go, I dislocated my shoulder. Somebody just needs to put it back in. Do you remember asking people to put it back in?
Yes.
You're like, I've done this.
I remember asking.
Before, right?
I've done this
I was like, where's Kyle? Where's Kyle? I was wanting Kyle Henson because he had helped Allie before too, and I knew we'd all talked about it because I'd been around them when they were having problems, and I've had that happen. And he was like, "This doesn't look normal though. Like I don't see your shoulder. Like, where is your shoulder
Your shoulder is a foot, or your
I was
arm's
just
a
like,
foot
pull
longer.
on it, just pull.
Yeah, we have pictures.
Just pull on my arm.
The video guy I've got to document everything. And once I knew it wasn't a fatal issue, right? Like if it was an issue, we got to get you. But it was like, pull on it. And so I was like, you asked me at first, and I said no. And so here's Kyle Hansen, good man right there. Starts pulling. Let's put you on a picnic bench and I'll pull you down. Let's
my
try that.
gosh.
And this is like the last ditch effort. And when he pulled hard enough and you heard a crunch, you went ghost white. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I didn't know.
Oh, I said no more.
Yeah.
And then the nurse was there.
Yeah,
She's like,
I
no, we
remember.
can't.
The nurse
Well,
was
I
like,
didn't
I will
realize-
never do this for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize, and everybody was right. She said the same thing. This doesn't look normal.
Right.
What I didn't know and what they didn't know is that the top of my humerus bone got knocked off when it got dislocated. And so, and then the other part of my humerus bone was actually shoved up underneath and touching my rib cage. It was underneath my armpit, stuck underneath my armpit, touching my ribs because I thought I had broke ribs, but they were like, no, it's your bone touching your ribs when you're breathing.
This is here now.
So yeah, it was not like it had been. I've dislocated my shoulder multiple times, that same shoulder. I've had surgery on that shoulder for that problem. And this was way more intense than any of them for sure. But it was just the worst timing in the world possible. It was, Dirt Surfers is like Christmas for me. That was, super hard for me to miss, Dirt Surfers. We were at the hospital. I was listening to stuff I was listening and watching videos while we were at the hospital and asking Rachel what's happening there so thank you all, God. Thank all of you and thank everybody who was at Dirt Surfers and dealt with any problems that arose from me doing that, which I think nothing really happened.
No,
Scott and
it
Prue
was
handled
great,
everything
man.
perfectly.
You developed a great team around you.
Yeah,
I mean, it really.
And then all the racers and people that, like you mentioned, Nico and Dave Stewart and Austin Silva, Austin has helped me at Dirt Surfers every year since the very beginning. He's so selfless. He's cut down trees. He's done all kinds of things for me in the middle of the race. And so, I just got to thank people like Austin and everybody that helped in that situation and all the situations, because it really takes all of us to make this work, right?
Yeah, I have a great picture. It's you, it's Rachel, Mercedes, Austin, and Dave Stewart, I think it is. You all have shovels, backhoes, and stuff, and you're going into the trails like the day before the race, and the pros are following you in to go clean out trails and stuff. And it's like that.
That's awesome.
Tell me who else is doing. What sport has
I
the
was just
pros
gonna say
doing
that.
this? It's wild. Great community. For those that are hear other things or you're jumping into the sport, got a Onewheel for Christmas, man, don't miss this stuff. This is a great community, and it is a lot of fun to be a part of. I think one of the coolest moments, obviously, met with tragedy, where your shoulder's dislocated but broken, and you spend the day away, and we managed to pull off the Saturday races, and then you show up where there's this massive pizza party going on. We have video footage of your debut back into, 250 racers, but there's a bunch of human beings around. I think we served close to 350 people in that room, pizza, and then you come in, and the room goes crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
It was a super special day. Super special time.
It was so hard to not be emotional, like me filming it and you sitting there. And none of us knew what the road back was, right? Because here you are just getting cleared from that day. You're just getting the green light, like, hey, it's
Today.
cool to, yeah. So thank you for what you do for the community, Nick. Thank you for putting on the race, but thank you for being a good human, you and Rachel. Thanks for always wearing a smile, even on Sunday. You're in pain, your shoulder's still dislocated, and you were just wearing a smile. And you're a good human, and we appreciate you. Thank you for dreaming up this new circuit and partnering with Brooke, and partnering with great trail systems. This is going to be a good year, man.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That goes right back to all you guys. That thank you goes right back to all you, because really Dirt Surfers has gotten a lot better and a lot easier for me and for Rachel since you guys have been a part of it. So I can't thank you guys enough, because that's made it a lot easier and a lot more fun for me. So
great.
Thank you.
That's what we want. We want to come in
and thank all the people. I want to thank everybody too that's been a part of it so far. all the racers, all the people that have come to Dirt Surfers. You know, they're a huge part of what's going on. So
Yeah.
can't do it
Without the
without you
racers,
guys.
yeah. Without racers, the
Mm-mm.
event is not very fun.
That's that's what we're doing it for. I want to make this. I've been wanting to make this a sport from the very beginning, and we're not
Yeah.
going to stop.
You're
That's
doing
awesome.
it, man.
You're
You're
doing
doing
It's
it.
happening.
It's fun
We're
to
gonna
watch
have
it.
300 racers
And a
at
beardless Nick.
And a
Eureka
beardless-
Springs in May. Get signed up. If there's
Kinda
300
scared.
racers at Eureka Springs in May, he's shaving his beard. So if you
And
you came in late,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, I
gotta
was gonna
hear
say
that.
if you join the
Yeah.
show late, he has not shaved his beard since
In 15 years.
for 15 years or more.
Or more.
So
that was a low
we
guesstimation.
haven't asked
Sorry,
Rachel
Nick, we're
yet.
doing this.
We haven't asked Rachel
Did
yet.
you text Rachel? You should have texted
No, I
her.
should. I should
Should have
totally
texted
text
her going,
Rachel.
"Hey, what would you do if?" Yeah. So
She'll be okay.
And for everybody
she
that's
would be.
watching, maybe it's not too late to make a New Year's resolution for yourself inside the racing circuit. Sign up early. I as an individual that creates events for people here in the Twin Cities, that you are basing what you do on the amount of people that show up, how many T-shirts we need, and all these things. Last minute is fine, and I think everybody will always welcome last minute signups. But the sooner you sign up, the more they know. Okay, we're going to cover the cost of this, so this is going to be good. It eases the pressure on the creators of these events is to get signed up early. And I know that some of you are like, but what if I get injured on the next one? Nick, let's just hypothetically play that out. Let's say somebody got injured when they're doing your circuit in Windman and they've already signed up for the turkey run. Can they contact you and get a money back
for
kind
sure.
of deal? Okay. So
Yes.
that's what I hear is the number one concern. Oh, if I sign up early and then I get injured and I'm out, I don't know if I get my money back. There you go. You got it right now. If you get injured inside the dirt circuit, you get your monies back. But it helps Nick know.
Oh yeah.
It helps Nick know on his events who's going to be there, how many's going to be there, and allows him to relax because he's forking. He's not told me this. I'm assuming he's forking out the dough in hopes that there's enough people there to make back. Just break even.
That's exactly how it works. That's exactly how it works. It's
I
a numbers game for
Right.
sure, and you're trying to forecast, and you don't want to overshoot. You don't because I want to keep doing Dirt Surfers, and so I can't lose money. You know, it
Right.
has to. I can't. You know, I'm not trying to make tons of money, but I can't lose money here. So yeah, it definitely is one of those things where it's nice to know. Yeah, and I
Right.
think just a side note, I think that the registration and everything is open right now for all three of the races. I
Wow,
think we
that's
just
great.
opened it up. I know Brooks did. I know he's going to right now, or he may have before this started. Ours is, I believe, open as well. So the registration is open for all three of the races, I believe.
I was
That's
going
great.
to ask you that also.
Maybe
if-
Lily or somebody could check real quick for
Yeah,
me and see if
I'll
that's
be happy
true.
to log in and check it. But I was going to ask you.
And then on
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say on dirtsurfers.com, I have we have, written out some things about the races, and for more information on dirtsurfers.com there, you can see, a little bit about the races and everything, how it's gonna work. And then we're gonna have, some rules and some rules for the series, coming out pretty soon. Just simple stuff, mainly about boards and registering and the birth date or the age that
Yeah.
the age stuff that we talked about and the point system. I'll have the point system all figured out and not figured out, but have the chart for everybody to view. I guess that's what I'm trying to
Oh,
say.
so you can track it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll have all that stuff posted soon on the website. But yeah, there will be more to come, and I will be making posts about this. If the post wasn't made here within the last hour, it'll be made within the next hour after this podcast. So yeah, we'll make a post to follow up on this and have more information on there as well.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
It is awesome. I just checked it out. It is open. You can add everything. I was going to ask, is there any type of incentive if someone like registers for all three at the same time? Is there any type where you just register and then you're good to go? Or do they
Well,
get
we talked about that, but Brooks is separate than me.
Ah,
The
I didn't
events
see
are
it on here.
separate.
Yeah.
So my dirt surfers and the dirt surfers in Eureka and the dirt surfers in Tulsa are my events
Right.
are
Yeah.
and then that's his event. And so it's a little hard. We were trying to brainstorm on that a little bit. Maybe in the future we can figure something out on that. But right now we're just leaving it as it is. Plus I have a little formula for how all of it works, and I don't want to mess up my formula on the first
Totally.
year of this. So
Right.
I'm trying to make sure that because I know how Eureka works, and I know what I need in Eureka, and then Tulsa is new to everybody and new to me
Right.
too. So I've got to kind of figure out how the Tulsa is going to work and everything
Right.
monetarily wise
Totally
Yeah.
is
understand
what I'm
that.
Yeah.
talking about.
Totally understand that.
So I think for right now, the best thing that you're going to get is you're going to have the best experience
Right.
of your
For sure.
life, the best race experience, the best one wheel
Yeah.
race
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
experience that you could ask for. That's what I'll promise you.
That's great, and we're here for it. And again, I think because of especially us here being a part of Dirt Surfers for so many years now, and different locations. Last year you did Texas, and we were there for it, and it was a high quality event. Despite some outside circumstances that were way beyond your control, you crushed it, and so it's cool to see what you're doing. And this is the time of year for everybody to jump in and do all three. I want people to come
Yeah.
up here. I want people to experience Windman. That there's nothing like that trail system. Again, I can't speak of Turkey Run. I gotta go. We're gonna go there. We're gonna go experience it so we can give firsthand information about the Turkey. Is it Turkey Mountain? Turkey Mountain, right?
Turkey Mountain. Yeah.
Yeah,
And something cool something real quick. If I want to touch on something real quick,
yeah,
Turkey Mountain is right in the middle of Tulsa. Like it's not like you have to drive really far out here or go there. You can go into Tulsa and you're right there.
well, that's
Everything's
cool.
right
Nice.
there. You
Nice.
can, if people are flying in, if people are sending
Easy
boards,
access.
it's going to
Yep.
be super easy to get around logistically. You may not even need a car because
Wow.
if you have your one wheel, I mean, you might
Yep.
need an Uber to where you're staying or something like that.
Hmm.
But I think Tulsa's going to be super easy for people to get
That's
to,
awesome.
and it's right in the middle of the country. And yeah, I think that's going to be a good race that I think. Well, I'm trying to think. I think it's going to be a better spectator race than any race I've had yet for me.
Okay.
Like the one like
Sweet.
you got to experience that in a Windman and the
Yep.
dual slalom, and I think Tulsa's going to be that kind of be like that for me for to have that. I want to make that a big deal and
Yeah.
trying to get some really cool sponsors. I'm working on having Monster Energy be like a present.
That would be awesome. As
And
what
I'm talking to yeah, I'm talking to
we're having some technical difficulties there with Nick.
Might have
I'm
cut off.
talking
There we go.
to.
You're
Can you
talking
hear
to
me?
yeah, we can hear you. You're just
Oh,
breaking up there for a little bit. Yeah, but as you're
oh,
talking about your
okay. Somebody
sponsors.
kept calling me. Okay.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So I was gonna say I'm trying to get Shields also the sporting goods store. They're super interested, so I'm thinking that they're gonna be on board as well. So
That's
I'm trying to
awesome.
reach outside the box here
Yeah.
and get some
Wow.
real sponsors that some I shouldn't say real sponsors, some outside the one wheel world
One
sponsors,
right.
something that can accommodate the one wheel or go with the one wheel. Shields sells one wheel, so
Yep.
that
Hmm.
was kind of my selling point with them. And they're new to Tulsa. They have a new store in Tulsa. So,
That's awesome.
That's
that's
great.
also, that's something neat. And so
Yeah.
Well,
I was really, really excited to hear how excited they were about being involved. So
that's cool.
yeah,
And I think that's awesome because that's how you ultimately can grow this sport is getting because
yeah,
you might have gone to Shields. They might have no idea, like they sell one wheels, but they didn't
right,
realize there's an ORL, or there's any type of league of any
right,
sort. So I think that's so awesome.
exactly.
That's how you get the word out of
Yep.
like, hey, this isn't just go ride for fun. There's more to it. There's so much more to it.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah.
awesome.
Well, Nick, thank you so much for your time today. and allowing us to break the news about Dirt Surferz circuit. This is going to be cool to be a part of, to watch. Oh man, I'm going to already write down. I'm going to start thinking about who I think is going to win the pro circuit, and all those things can make it fun to watch and to root for different people. So thank you to you and Rachel for putting this together. You guys are a great duo. And thank you for your time today, Nick. Any last things that we didn't cover today?
Man,
We covered it all. Look at this.
yeah, I think we covered it all. I just want to thank everybody again. I want to thank the Midwest One Wheel group as a whole. All of those guys, the Carve Creative guys, with their marketing and the stuff. Luke. I want to give a shout out to Luke Ween. He made our flyer for us. And I was super, super stoked on the way the flyer came out. I like his style, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
So it's fun to have the One Wheel people, the community, everybody helping with the events. So that's super important too. So I just want to thank everybody, and come to Dirt Surfers.
Come to Dirt Surfers. That's right. Nick will shave his beard off with 300 people at Eureka Springs. It'd be great. All right,
It'd be
Nick.
awesome.
Congrats on getting all cleared on the shoulder. Can't wait to ride One Wheels again with you, man.
Yep.
Okay, look at that. We're winning. Getting there.
Yep, I can raise them up. I'm almost there. I got a 2-pound weight that I'm lifting up, and I can almost raise it above my head. And when I start getting that weight above my head, and I can start making that 2-pound weight a 5-pound weight, and that 5-pound weight a 10-pound weight, I'll be back on my One Wheel real soon.
Yes.
I have a feeling.
Oh, so that's the benchmark here. We got to hit that, and then that's when you're getting on. Okay.
Yeah, I need to be able to stick my arm up and catch myself, or I need to be able to. I'm not coming back early. I already did that once, and that was not smart. So I'm waiting until I'm in better shape than I was before I wrecked. That's my goal.
They call that experiential wisdom right there. I did it wrong the first time. I'm not doing that again. So.
Yep.
All right, then keep getting stronger. Give a big old hug to Rachel for us, and it was an honor to have you on our first episode of 2025, Nick.
Woohoo!
We will catch up with you later, okay, man?
All right. Later, y'all. Thank you, fam. Thank you, Mendenhall group.
Yeah, our pleasure. Man, I love that guy. Such a good guy.
I did get to chat with Rachel. I was just kind of texting back and forth with her. She is 100% in for the shaving of the beard.
Great.
I didn't get to tell that before he logged off. But,
good. He's now texting her going, I might have.
She was like 100%. 300 people at Dirt Surfers Eureka Springs.
Come on, let's make it happen. Beard. Like we have the trophy ceremony, and then he goes right on the trophy platform and then shaves his beard.
And if you're really a diehard Dirt Surfers, you can take a piece of his beard home with you.
What? That's too far. That got creepy. You just crossed the line. Normally you say, I'm the one crossing the lines here. You crossed a line. Oh my goodness, that got weird. Okay, so we were talking about the racing series that are all happening. We have those that we're going to just run through to our knowledge, okay? So we might be missing, and if you've made it to the end and you're holding a race, please reach out to us so that we can continue to help people know how to jump in and be able to just race all over the country, okay? And there's more that are outside of the United States. That I know Europe has their own. Scotland has some races. That information needs to come to us. But here is what we know of right now. We were talking about before. Let It Ride is March 28th through the 30th, okay? Let It Ride 4. This is in Las Vegas, Nevada, out past city limits. It's very good to spectate. There's no trees in the way. It's desert, folks, so you can see everybody, okay? So that is, to our understanding, the first event. Then you have Lemonade Float Fest 3. This is down in Texas. It is a great one-wheel festival. We went to it last year.
And this is Seek and Shred.
Seek and Shred is doing the racing portion of this event.
Lemonade Float.
So it's going to be a great partnership again down there. Just an hour outside of Austin, Texas is where this one is roughly located.
Cool place.
Very good venue. They DM'd asking if we're going to attend that event. That is potentially going to happen. Then we have Shred Fest 5, which is correct. But between this and that, we have a Dirt Surfers. We have Eureka Springs Dirt Surfers. So if we can stay in order, there you go. The Enduro 2025, May 16th through the 18th. Then you go to the Shred Fest, which is Seek and Shred, which will be their second race of the season, because the other one is Texas, June 12th through the 16th, 2025. This is out in California, and they have phenomenal bands and stages and all those things. It's wonderful, we've heard. This is one we're really trying to make happen this year for us. And so us putting our calendar together and hopefully building something that we can all sleep in would be great. And then you have that one, To Our Next Knowledge We Understand, and I'm sure there's some in there that we're missing that we are unaware of. They have made no announcements. Then you would go to Windman in the fall, and then you would go to the Turkey Hill. That, man, if you did all of those, you'd have a busy summer.
I was going to say, there's something that's usually over the 4th of July.
Yes.
You got Wheel Scorcher.
North Carolina has a couple of events.
We just don't know that they're
don't know those events
yet.
Wheel Scorcher, if I understand correctly, and this might have sorted out since, but when the hurricanes came through and had all the flooding down there, I do think it had ruined where Wheel Scorcher was. Now, again, they could have fixed it in that time, but I do know that might mean they need to make a venue change. Don't know. But we'll keep you in tune or up to speed on all those things. So, and as Nick ended thanking everybody, hey, thank you for a great 2024 around here. Thanks for watching our videos. Thank you for being a part of what we do here at Scot Mendenhall and Friends, where we just cover the community of Onewheel, and we ride and we love it. And Holly and our children ride and they love it and they're great at it. And so it's fun to be a part of this community, to watch it change, evolve, grow. On the racing side, but also on the board side, to watch the XRC hit right there around the holidays, and just to see an upgrade on a classic of the XR, and it's exciting to see what the platform of Vesk is doing and capable of doing and pushing. Just thank you for everybody that watches our stuff. Thank you for all the companies that send us things, Float Life. Thank you for sending us out things to demo, try, and giving our opinion back to you. We appreciate all of you. Thank you. If you're still watching, you should subscribe to the YouTube channel, give a like to this, and maybe drop a comment. Everybody have a great Wednesday. We'll be back to next week with our episode 2 of 2025. Goodbye, Holly.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.